But you cannot tell me that this isn't an Arsenal with an evolving outlook on how to attack these kinds of defensive setups. And this is what I've been building towards. Look at that stack between the lines. It's almost a kind of diamond shape, high and central. That doesn't make it easy to play into, but Rice takes the risk. He plays the pass. It's an eye of the needle pass through to Eze, but it's also very well disguised from Rice, whipping it back across his body. But what does all of this matter? Let's analyse the structure of this cluster or this diamond. Eze and Trossard are close. One of them becomes a kind of backboard, which Eze is here, meaning he's the one that's playing back to goal, forcing Newcastle players to collapse onto him and free up space for Trossard, who's the releaser, the more active foil for Gyökeres, who is left to lean on the last line instead. Obviously, a much better involvement for him. And this is exactly what happens, but remember, it doesn't make it straightforward. Gyökeres is closed down, but he wins the bouncing ball, finding Saka, who maybe with a better pass into him or a better touch, would have had a settled 1v1 with Burn. We've gone from this, where shifting side to side seems the only option, to this in seconds, an attack that is running at the Newcastle backline from within their block. Even as the clock ticked on and we were face to face with that familiar feeling, this was a team with more ideas, more solutions. Zubimendi and Rice in this passage switch sides. Rice offers us that little bit of drive, and this is what I'm talking about when I want to use Rice's off-ball movement to better effect. Here, he's drawing a backline deeper, allowing Timber to add his own impetus, taking a first touch that sets him on the carry. Carries force collapses, remember. They force defenders to make decisions. Timber attracts, finds Eze, who, as soon as he uses those feints to eliminate centrally, gets people in a panic. Tonali is now jumping, but the key is Eze not going into Zubimendi straight away, but allow Trossard to do that, who is in that backboardy role we previously spoke about. And this keeps Zubimendi open and able to offer his own solutions in the final third, which are basically moving opportunistically or playing these little slips or clips from outside the block. We've packed the last line again. We are forcing them to make decisions, this Newcastle backline. The intent and the ideas remained. It's the same sequence and setup through the lines. Zubimendi drops to play the initial line breaker. Merino is our backboard, and say what you want, but Merino swivels, his flicks, his tempo when he's used like this is some of the best in the squad. Eze becomes the releaser, and this is where he and Mateta form such a dangerous pairing. He crisscrosses with Gyökeres, carrying before slipping him in at an angle. Again, there's a slip from Gyökeres, but the immediacy of everything else is spot on.